a scientist, I have to build the puzzle pieces that I need to build this history of the universe. A Canada-France telescope is multifunctional. We need to think about solutions to improve the instrument, to make things work. One of the most impressive discoveries that we made here is an object that came through the solar system, and we were able to catch it. So we're trying to predict the evolution of the universe for the future.
Hey there, SOLIDWORKS users. This is Concepts in Production, bringing you a sneak peek at what's new in SOLIDWORKS 2019. We've got some great features to share with you guys, and it's only a glimpse of what you can expect in next year's release. If you want to see the full view of what's new in SOLIDWORKS 2019, make sure to come to our Customer Appreciation event. We'll talk about that more later on in our webcast. If you have any questions during the webcast, make sure to enter those in your chat box in GoToMeeting, and one of us will respond to it. You'll get a chance to see all of the application engineers here at CIP, as we'll all have a part in presenting. I'm Jared Trotter, this is Ben Potter, and without any further ado, let's get into the customer spotlight that you saw in the opening video. The picture that you see here is the Canada-France-Hawaii Telescope, or CFHT, located in Waimea, Hawaii. It was commissioned in 1979 and is the result of a partnership between the National Center for Scientific Research in France, the National Research Council in Canada, and the University of Hawaii. It's really a great partnership between education and exploration, and it's decked out with some of the best technological equipment available. This includes the largest digital camera and the first multi-object spectrometer of its kind. These tools have enabled this SOLIDWORKS research customer to really forge a path of innovation and discovery. Today, CFHT remains a leader, one of the most productive telescopes on Earth or in orbit. In the interest of staying on the cutting edge of space exploration, they've opted to replace their 3.6 meter telescope with a new 10 meter telescope, the Mauna Kea Spectroscopic Explorer, or MSE. SOLIDWORKS was chosen to consolidate everything in the design and bring MSE to life, long before its completion in the mid-2020s. That being said, let's take a look at some of their models that will really highlight the features in SOLIDWORKS 2019. We're going to start off with Ben, who's going to take us through some great enhancements in assemblies. So Ben, what can we expect with 2019 assemblies in SOLIDWORKS?
Well, Jared, assemblies have seen some great enhancements in SOLIDWORKS 2019, both from the top level down to the day-to-day usage. And I'll be showing off the exciting top-level capabilities within SOLIDWORKS 2019. One of the most requested enhancements for SOLIDWORKS 2019 has been graphics performance. And assemblies, especially large ones, can tax even the most powerful of systems. Over the years, SOLIDWORKS has done many things to optimize the way a model performs on the screen. For instance, large assembly mode will turn off model edges, shadows, and reflections. Real view is disabled, turning off the realistic appearance and textures. And the level of detail is set to fast. All of these optimizations make the view manipulation much faster, but at the expense of visual appeal. Now, SOLIDWORKS 2019 changes the game. View manipulations are lightning fast, even with large assembly mode turned off. In a side-by-side comparison, you can clearly see the improvements. Dynamic view operations, such as zoom, pan, and rotate, are dramatically faster. Users see less dropped frames or that clunkiness when rotating large models or assemblies. More of the graphics calculations are now done on the graphics card itself, providing much better performance. In fact, SOLIDWORKS now scales with graphics card hardware, allowing users to further accelerate dynamic performance with high-end graphics cards. These graphics enhancements enable you to manipulate your assemblies without sacrificing visual quality. Continuing along with performance, we have the new edit mode within Large Design Review. Large Design Review is a capability that has been available in SOLIDWORKS for many years and allows users to open very large assemblies lightning fast, giving you the ability to quickly interrogate the assembly or model or conduct a design review. Let's get into SOLIDWORKS and check out these new enhancements. In Large Design Review, users have the access to the Feature Manager, and it provides super fast view manipulation to rapidly visualize and move around the assembly. The ability to measure distances, as well as the capability to do section views or cross sections, and walkthroughs are all possible. We can even hide and show components. All of these are valuable tools to interrogate a large assembly. Now in SOLIDWORKS 2019, Large Design Review has been enhanced to include assembly editing capabilities. Reference geometry like planes and axes are accessible, as well as mates, where changes can be made to how a component is assembled. Sketches can be shown or hidden and can be referenced for adding mates or for visual clarity. If you are looking to delete a few components that may not be needed, this can now be done in the edit mode. New components can be added to your design just as you would in a fully resolved sketch, and these new items can be placed and mated into their proper positioning. Mating is done just like you would in lightweight or resolved mode, including the use of the quick mate toolbar. Components that have been prepared with magnetic mates can be added to the assembly as well and snap into position as you would expect, saving a great deal of time when doing large facility layouts. When done, we can analyze our model and even add in or unhide the components that were hidden earlier. And when we're finished making all of these changes, the assembly can easily be saved so that the next time it is opened in resolved or lightweight mode, you can be assured that all of your work has been retained. With these enhanced capabilities in SOLIDWORKS 2019, users will be able to take advantage of the excellent performance of Large Design Review and be able to rapidly make changes to their assemblies. These are just a few of the new capabilities on the top level of assemblies. Jared will now show us a glimpse into the specific day-to-day usage of assembly enhancements in SOLIDWORKS 2019.
Thanks, Ben. Assembly delighters is always an exciting portion of what's new in SOLIDWORKS, and the 2019 release is no exception. This year there's a focus on detailing in your assemblies so that your workflow is smoother with even more capabilities at your fingertips. When working with assemblies, it can be easy to accumulate a lot of mates, which can make it time-consuming to search through those mates for one in particular that needs attention. Now in 2019, you have the new Group Mates option, which makes it far easier to navigate the Mates folder. You can group mates by status or separate fasteners. When grouped by status, mates are separated into folders. This way, a mate with errors isn't mixed with all of your correct mates. Differentiating between the solved mates folder and the errors folder makes it faster to identify and repair mates. The new group mates option is definitely going to make organizing and editing your assemblies even faster. When using toolbox components in assemblies, many users prefer to have everything fully defined. You can now lock all the concentric mates with one click. No more clicking these mates one by one, or even having to make sure that you lock them down when you first create them. And with all of these components, toolbox or otherwise, it's always helpful to see how these assemblies are constructed, what parts go where, and in what sequence. This is where exploded views have been extremely helpful in the past. And now there's even more functionality with this great tool. A new rollback bar is available when working with exploded views. This rollback bar works really well with the new capability to name explode steps to help users really visualize an explode sequence. You also see that there are more output options when you go to post out your videos. With this increased flexibility, you can really fine-tune your explode animations. It brings you a step closer to capabilities you have in animating with motion or in SOLIDWORKS Composer. Finally, the D-Feature tool has been enhanced. Creating highly detailed production-ready components is something that SOLIDWORKS really excels at, but all of that detail isn't necessarily required, especially in higher-level assemblies. The D-Feature tool provides the capability to massively remove unnecessary detail to improve large assembly performance, or even to protect your intellectual property. SOLIDWORKS 2019 introduces a new silhouette option to help simplify an assembly based on the outlines of components and bodies. There's also the new option to select identical components, which allows you to grab all instances of a component in one go. If you're providing parts to a customer, or even including these parts internally for your organization, it's going to be quicker to simplify your parts. And with these additional options, you have more flexibility and control over how much detail you show in your model. We're also going to see some great new capabilities that not only improve the user experience, but increase your daily productivity as well. You'll remember from last year, the welcome screen was introduced to help you get started modeling more quickly. This welcome page has been updated and now lists up to 100 of your recently opened documents. You can even change that number in your system options. Each document is displayed with its own preview, and the new quick filter can be used to refine the list by displaying only parts, assemblies, or drawings. Want to search a recently used model by name? Type the name of your model in the new Filter by Name dialog, and you can quickly find and open your assembly in a matter of seconds. Building relationships between features and parts is a powerful method of capturing design intent. SOLIDWORKS 2019 makes it even easier to view and manage external references. References can now be broken or locked when dynamically viewing parent-child relations from the Feature Manager. When using a top-down approach to design, assemblies can consist of many parts, each containing numerous external references. The references for an entire assembly can now be viewed and managed in a new interactive dialog box. With the new Mate options, the Enhanced Defeature tool, and so much more, we can expect it to take less time to give more attention to detail in parts and assemblies. Martin has joined us now, and he's going to give us some insight into manufacturing in SOLIDWORKS 2019.
Yeah, Jared. So you talked about some of the user interface improvements, like with the new welcome screen. I want to look at a couple of the tools that were introduced, like the welcome screen in 2018, and have now been improved and enhanced in 2019, specifically Topology Study and SOLIDWORKS CAM. So Topology Study, if you haven't had a chance to work with it yet in 2018, if you're still working in 16 or 17 and haven't upgraded yet, I want you to know a little bit about it. It's a design guidance study type that you actually set up just like your regular FEA SOLIDWORKS simulations with regular fixtures and loads, meshing properties. But it adds in goals and constraints. So you can control and optimize best stiffness to weight ratio, control manufacturing controls like wall thickness or symmetry, and SOLIDWORKS Topology will go in and optimize the geometry of the part based on those requirements. That's going to give you a lighter weight part with less material requirements, and you can even make the output, make sure it's suitable for traditional machining processes like casting or machining. Now, many designs have constraints that go beyond just stiffness or weight requirements. And with 2019, we've got some improvements, namely the ability to do a frequency response constraint. So now with 2019, you can limit the frequencies to a certain area, a certain value of frequencies, or below a certain value or above a certain value. Also, they've added in a stress and a factor of safety constraints that you can use as well, just for more intuitive controls over how the topology study works. Also, topology studies in 2019 can be directly exported to a solid mesh body. That's going to allow users to be able to interact with faces and vertices, take measurements, and do mass properties with the results, as well as options for section views, applying appearances, using interference detection, and other Boolean operations. So with topology study in 2019, finding that ideal shape to meet your design requirements is easier, faster than ever, really speeding along that process from design to manufacturing. Now with SOLIDWORKS CAM, another tool that was introduced in 2018, we have fully integrated CNC programming right inside of SOLIDWORKS for 2.5 axis milling and turning. SOLIDWORKS CAM leverages automatic feature recognition to evaluate the geometry, actually independent of the SOLIDWORKS features themselves. That means we can bring in files and models from other third-party CAD programs or even step files, parasolid files, and SOLIDWORKS CAM is able to recognize the geometry and interpret it into things like pockets, perimeters, facing operations. Also, additional machining operations can be created interactively if necessary. And then we've got some great powerful simulation capabilities with SOLIDWORKS CAM that are going to allow you to do a digital simulation of the toolpaths and the cutting to help you identify any potential problems or areas requiring further refinement. You can see gouges on the part or any issues of material that's not cut away long before the physical part is actually machined. And also, any changes made to the model in SOLIDWORKS can be instantly applied to the toolpaths and operations in SOLIDWORKS CAM. So with 2019, we've got some great improvements with SOLIDWORKS CAM 2.5 axis machining, as well as a little bit in turning we want to take a look at. First of all, typically as a straight tool gets to the bottom of a part, there's a risk that the shank, the non-cutting portion, will touch some of the top faces that were machined earlier in the operation. spoiling the surface finish. SOLIDWORKS CAM 2019 now gives us the opportunity to be able to use taper and neck options for non-cutting portion of tools. This is going to allow us to simulate more realistically the type of tools we'll be using. And as you make these adjustments on the tools, a preview actually updates so you can more easily achieve the final result. Also, when you have to meet strict tolerance requirements, sometimes it's necessary to have offsets on the position of the toolpath compared to the model geometry. And even a small incremental adjustment like this can result in time-consuming workarounds, sometimes having to go in to edit the code itself, or other times going in to even change the model geometry. Well, with 2019 now, there's a new move command that will allow you to move SOLIDWORKS CAM features in the X, Y, and Z direction, offsetting them so you can easily machine to mid tolerances without the extra rework that's often necessary. Also, with tolerance-based machining in SOLIDWORKS CAM, you can leverage DimExpert dimensions or model-based definition information, the dimensions and tolerances built right onto the 3D model, to apply your preferred machining strategies to the part based on the tolerance scheme. So define default machining strategies for undersized, nominal, or oversized tolerances can be applied for any given tolerance size range. With these new enhancements to manufacturing tools in SOLIDWORKS 2019, you'll have even better capabilities with SOLIDWORKS CAM and topology. Joe's joined us now. He's going to take a look at what's new with deliverables in 2019.
Thanks, Martin. When it comes to deliverables, SOLIDWORKS 2019 brings some great new enhancements that'll make you even more productive. Those enhancements are included in drawings, e-drawings, touch sketching, and 3D markups. For instance, in drawings, SOLIDWORKS 2019 brings some great new enhancements that make documenting your designs even faster. You can now create a slice section through the model at any location using the new removed section view command. Simply select two opposed model edges and a view is created perpendicular to the section line, eliminating the need to create any construction geometry. Hole tables are a great way of displaying hole location and size information without having to use dimensions that will probably clutter up your drawing view and make it difficult to interpret. SOLIDWORKS 2019 introduces new options that deliver a greater flexibility over the way holes are tagged. New in SOLIDWORKS 2019, you can control the update of individual drawing views by simply picking one or more, then selecting the new Exclude from Automatic Update option in the Property Manager. Now moving on to e-drawings, we all know that it is a great tool of viewing CAD models, and now with 2019 it gets even more valuable. E-drawings now support several new CAD file formats: Parasolid, Solid Edge, ACES, JT, and NX. All of these formats are supported with e-drawings 2019, making e-drawings your go-to choice for CAD file viewing. Sharing CAD data from e-drawings is a great way to collaborate, and with the new HTML output, e-drawings models can be shared in a new format that opens in any browser without the need to install the software. As we remember, in SOLIDWORKS 2018, touch sketching was introduced. In SOLIDWORKS 2019, it delivers a wealth of innovative new productivity enhancements that lets you take advantage of the latest cutting-edge hardware technology. Whether you design complex shapes or simple mechanical parts, SOLIDWORKS gesture sketching provides an innovative approach to capturing rapid-fire design ideas. Not just a tool for the industrial designer, gesture sketching provides a quick and easy way to create prismatic designs. In addition to lines, arcs, and circles, hand-drawn slot shapes are now recognized and converted into slot sketch entities, enabling you to utilize this exciting new approach to model creation regardless of the geometry. Finally, using touch interaction, you can quickly and easily assemble parts together using Smart Mates. Simply tap the desired face of each part on screen, and the components automatically snap into position. As you work, SOLIDWORKS interprets your touch inputs and gestures, intuitively switching model behavior based on your selection. Good communication among design stakeholders is an essential part of any successful design process. SOLIDWORKS 2019 introduces a brand new way to communicate your design ideas by enabling you to add markups directly to parts and assemblies when using a touch device. As you write, your notes are captured together with the orientation of the markup view. Markups are stored with the model and can be viewed by other members of your design community using SOLIDWORKS on any workstation, whether touch-enabled or not. When finished, the markup view is automatically captured and stored in the markups folder, and if required, given a name to signify its purpose. Markup stored with the model can be exported in a variety of industry-standard image formats or PDFs, ready to be shared with other stakeholders outside of your SOLIDWORKS design community. Whether you're in the office or on the go, SOLIDWORKS 2019 brings some great new enhancements that'll boost your innovation and productivity.
That's great, Joe. So that's it for our first look at SOLIDWORKS 2019. But if you didn't see a feature you were looking for or want to see more, don't worry. We're going to take a deeper look at these features and more at our annual Customer Appreciation event in November. We will take a step back and revisit the Customer Spotlight and find out the conclusion for them with the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope. So this is our 20th anniversary for Concepts in Production as a company. We want to make this our biggest customer appreciation event ever. So we want you to join us. It's November 8th here in Tupelo, Mississippi at the Bancorp South Arena. And we'll have food, we'll feed you lunch, other customers be there to interact with and to hear their stories. We'll have the SOLIDWORKS representatives with their presentations. Our 3D printers will be set up. We'll get to show off 3D printers. And we'll take a look at SOLIDWORKS 2019, all the new features in it, centered around innovations, performance, the design ecosystem, and attention to detail. So thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep on modeling.